Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're back in the studios for Travel Tuesday in the brand new year of 2015. I'm in the studio this time with,
Jackie Somerville.
and we wanted to start talking about destination wedding and resorts. So, Jackie, since that's your specialty, why don't you let the people know how you handle those wonderful adventures?
Yes, these are all definitely very wonderful adventures. Destination weddings can be a joy, but sometimes it can be a little challenge to plan because um, you're planning for a group of people to go to a specific destination, and a lot of times people give their opinion about the place that you're getting married and why you're doing it there and the cost and all of that. And so when you're planning a destination wedding, you definitely want to take all that into consideration. You want to take people's budgets into consideration, especially yours if you are actually planning that thing, and you want to have a budget uh, uh, that'll be comparable for everyone in your party, especially those that you really want there, those that are closest to you. And a lot of times, that's what happens with destination weddings. They're very small. They don't tend to be too large, just because of the amount of travel that takes place. Unless you plan it enough time in advance. If you're planning like a year and a half, 2 years, then of course it can be a larger wedding. But the main places where people normally, of course, go is you have a Cancun, somewhere in the Caribbean. I have actually planned a destination wedding on a cruise before, where half of the cruise line was actually chartered to that particular wedding party. It was a beautiful wedding. They of course did the reception right on the cruise line, and and then they were able to have people, go to the different ports of destination, during the time of the wedding day time. So it was really good to see everybody there. It's almost like a family reunion type thing too. So they kind of did a two in one with that particular wedding. The main thing that you want to take into consideration is if you're doing a destination wedding outside of the country, you want to make sure that you have all those passports in place. Uh, you want to do it at if you have to do a short amount of time, the shortest amount of time is 6 months for a destination wedding. To plan it properly for everything to, kind of go off. If you're especially, and also if you're doing it um, outside the country, you have to contact that particular country's regulations in terms of their marriage license, and and where you should go and what the fees are. And a lot of times they want you to pay those fees in cash. So you have to get those details, and you want to get those well in advance. Especially if you are people who maybe have already been married before, you're divorced, you want to make sure that you have your original copy of your divorce decree with you when you go. A lot of a lot of those countries, depending on the countries you go to, they want to see that. Now, if you're doing a destination wedding that's within the continental U.S., you just contact that particular state. Like with Disney weddings, Disney is very good with planning their weddings. They actually give you a coordinator there as well, and your destination wedding coordinator slash travel agent can work with their wedding coordinator as well. But they are very good with detailing everything out for you. They lay everything out for you. So it's a little easier with Disney. Uh, if you want to go someplace like, California or Vegas or what have you, of course in Vegas they lay out everything for you as well, because of course they do a lot of weddings there. But if you want to go someplace that most people probably wouldn't go for a particular destination wedding, but maybe because your family, maybe it's from like Texas or even like Utah, you can, when you planning these destination weddings, like I said, you want to take the people into consideration as well. Plan a group trip, maybe before the wedding, but just to kind of get time to relax and not have to be so rushed and hurried about with all the different wedding details. You want to make sure you have certain vendors in place, so you have to do a lot of research, in that particular state, about with the different vendors and what have you. If you like especially I know like with myself personally, when I do plan people's destination weddings, because I am also a wedding coordinator, I actually do all that research for my clients so that they don't have to really worry about that. And, I just kind of give a quote with all the different vendors and what they're quoting. I will send pictures if you can, and I always suggest this to plan a trip at least 3 months in advance of your actual wedding to go there just for a weekend to meet with your vendors and to get to see and feel different things. If you need to feel different textures of fabrics that you want to use, maybe for your linens, or if you are depending on the type of decor that you're using, you know you want to see what the flowers would actually look like, or you want to actually see what the venue looks like if you've never been there before. If you, like I said, if you can fit it in your budget, that's always a good thing to do, is to have that in place, so that you can get the best feel. But if you cannot do that, you can always make sure you get pictures. If you know people in that particular state, have them go for you, take pictures, take videos, so that you can have the best possible time and wedding.
You can hear the logistics oozing out of her, ladies and gentlemen. I love it. I used to plan weddings also, and I'm like listening to her going, "Yes, I remember, I remember, I remember." So she definitely has a love for people, because when you have a wedding coordinator who's willing to just dive in deep, for you, that you're going to get your money's worth definitely by the
Yes,
time it's all said and done. The other thing is, as it gets closer to the wedding season, we're going to be hosting a Google Hangout for Travel Tuesday. So we're going to have a few of our event planners, travel agents, come together for a Google Hangout and give some of their best advice. So if you're an event planner or someone looking to be a travel coordinator, then you definitely want to get in on this Google Hangout, because we're going to share a lot more of what we have to offer for our travel agents specifically. So stay tuned. Jackie, why don't you sign us off for this college episode?
this is Jackie again from Journey to Royalty Travel, and I just wanted to make sure that you had my contact information if you wanted to get in touch with me. You can email me at the number two, R travel, TRAVEL, at gmail.com. Or you can actually just call me at area code 847-346-4273, as I specialize each and every trip that I book. So every group, um, anything that I book, I totally specialize it and critique it to you. So thanks so very much, and you guys have a wonderful, blessed day. Bye bye.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call it a wrap up for this episode of Travel Tuesday. Be sure to email us at toctown14@gmail.com if you, as a travel agent or an event planner, has some questions that maybe we can answer for you, give you some assistance on, and definitely give you some strategies and tips that we've in the business been into over a couple decades. So we have a lot to share. So we thank you for listening in on this episode of Travel Tuesday. We will see you guys next month for our Chief Artisan Trainers Challenge. Stay tuned for that. Take care.